Hello. So I ended up revisiting another Arky room that I hadn't solved yet. Um, and we're not quite at that one yet. Um, so I'm gonna show you this one, and there will be another version that I'll do in another video. But we'll start with this one. And as before, we have an explanation of what this puzzle is all about. And I turned the volume for the voices down this time because he was a little loud before.
Decoys. The eyes are unreachable without dropping the trapdoors, which would trap the delver. Hence, he is forced to use the decoys to kill them. However, there are only 3 decoy potions. The addition of the eye behind the red door forces the delver to open all the yellow doors. To do this, he must utilize both mirrors, so these cannot be used to help him either.
Alright, so that's the idea. And so you can see right off that we can have these, I should explain what decoys are all about actually. Basically a decoy is a stationary copy of you, and you can place it down and it'll stab things, and it's kind of a one-use thing. And decoys also have a range within which enemies will be able to see them and treat the decoys as though they were you. Enemies can't kill the decoys, but they will move towards the decoys. So you can see they have a range here. It's a square around it. And so that's all we're going to be using the decoys. No, that's not quite true. But mainly we're using the decoys for killing the eyes. And so, as I've talked about before, if the eyes see me, then they'll wake up and start behaving like roaches. And enemies like the eyes don't drop trapdoors, is something to keep in mind. So they can cross just fine, and the trapdoor will stay intact. So if we go ahead and lower these doors like that, and then we could drop these trapdoors, and that'll drop the red door. So we're gonna have to do this at some point, regardless of how we solve the puzzle, because there's no space to place a decoy over here when the red doors are closed, even if we wanted to. But we only have 3 decoy potions, so what do we have to do? We have these things here, which you saw. I can push these around and they're solid, so they're a bit like kegs, except they don't blow up. And I can destroy these. And the other thing is that it's kind of a mirror wheel almost, so it's got 8 surfaces that point in the 8 cardinal directions of Drod. And what we care about right now is that mirrors will reflect the sight of the eyes. Oops. So if we go ahead and place a decoy like this, we can push the mirror across. It won't drop the trapdoor either, and it'll see the decoy in the mirror and then wake up. And you can see it doesn't matter which object woke it up. Once it's awake, it behaves just as a roach, so it'll be attracted to me instead of the decoy because I'm closer and I can stab it. And we can do that and get all these eyes, but as explained in Arky's notes, we can't get at these trapdoors. So what do we have to do? We can't get this mirror back because it's on a force arrow. I can push it off, but that doesn't do very much good. So there's no way I can kind of recover it by pushing it off. Something to be aware of, you can't really do this with kegs so much because they blow up if you hit them with your sword. You can push many objects with your sword like this, and if you swing it, this happens, so you can kind of push it at a diagonal angle by swinging, so you can manipulate it really easily. So hopefully it's clear enough how the mirror works, because there are a few subtleties to how pushable objects in general and mirrors in specific will behave. So we need something that will push down this button, both of these buttons, and since the arrow is there, we know that once it goes in, it won't come back out unless it goes over the edge. So we shouldn't just accept the parameters of the puzzle as laid out, because, as explained, if we do that, the puzzle is unsolvable. So we should look about what else could hold down a button, and the first thought is, well, an eye could get onto it. And so you want to think about, how could we get an eye onto one of the buttons? So if we place a decoy here, actually no, it should go here. Actually, I should make sure to get this down. If you want to try and solve the puzzle for yourself, now would be a good time to pause. There is one thing you might not realize, but if I show you that, I've kind of given up the game. If you want to try and figure it out from now, go for it. But I'll show you this one interesting fact, which it turns out to be important. And then if you want to try solving it with that piece of information, then you can go ahead and do that. And that is, once we get this guy out, these potions act like solid objects to the eye, and that turns out to be useful. So it might be obvious what the solution is now, but if you want to go ahead and give it a shot, pause the video here. Now, as for the solution, you can see that by using this trick of getting the eye, actually it might be better to get this one, getting the eye behind one of these potions, kind of move this over. I should, there we go. We can kind of get him, get him over here, and then we can kind of get some distance. And then in order to lure into the button, we've got this handy trapdoor right here. And now he's stuck. So we can start dropping these trapdoors, and we've got all these kills, and whoop. Gotta remember to not forget the trapdoors. Remember to not forget, yes. And there it goes. And I'm gonna record the next video right away. If we put a mimic right, or not a mimic, a decoy right here, look at that. We got a little secret passage here. So I will be seeing you quite soon. See you there.